Welcome back, boys and girls, to the Call of the North. Vansdale and Launders getting ready for the second map between Ace Gaming and Synthetic. Pretty much a dominating round for Ace to start on their map. This time we're going to see Cash. What do you expect to see here, Launders?
Yeah, so Synthetic's map pick, as you mentioned, so at least they get the comfortability of knowing that this is kind of a map that they maybe feel more comfortable on. They might have been forced into playing Dust 2 and didn't really feel like doing it. And it seems like an easy map, but in a team setting, some teams will ban Dust 2. And that just shows you that it's not as easy as like, oh, you just play here, you play here. You got to be very comfortable as a unit playing on the map, and so. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they didn't like it in the first place, and maybe we see a new, better Synthetic here on Cash. But yeah, overall, the first map is like very dominating performance by Ace, who were able to get the opening frag over and over again. It's very important to highlight the opening frag because teams that get the opening frag win 80% of the time. So at least at the tier 1 level, and you would think that teams that are not quite as good still kind of have that advantage and don't really realize it. You still have to play the 5v4 properly, but you get to the main level, like people start to understand, like, your up numbers, you play safe, and when you play safe, you win. And when you're down, you got to make a play, and usually it doesn't work out. Yeah. But that's what you have to do. So the fact that they were getting them constantly just meant it was just so hard for Synthetic to get their economy together on CT side, right, to start off, and it just kept going down and farther down the hill.
Yeah, so now we're just waiting for Vez to move into the server to start Cash off. And you're mentioning here, Launders, how you have to be comfortable on CT side, as in it's not just you play here, you play here. You have to play a lot of retakes usually as well. You've mentioned it in that pregame. Do you think a map like Cash could be the same type of play style that you would need? Of course, I feel like the rotation is a little bit harder, especially if you're going from B to A from the CT side, or A to B even at that point. There's really only two entries you come in usually, which is trying to flank across the vents or trying to come in from the CT spawn, whether it be heaven or the tree. But it still seems so easy to hold post plant for the T side, just like Dust 2, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's like an open site like A on Cash, for example, has a lot of easy nades to throw, right? So you can set a truck and throw a Molotov that's going to land on default. You can throw your Molotov from highway to land at quad. You can smoke out A main. You can nade fork from both sides. So there's every spot you can play on A site is super easy to kill a person in. There's no like ultimate spot on the retake. That's why teams will just play a truck. They'll see the smoke. They'll get everyone grouped up on highway, maybe someone on the big flank, and then throw all their nades and then push in together. Because on A, it can be quite easy to perform that as long as you're at least equal on numbers.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you're looking at other positions, because you're seeing sometimes you might have to decide on Dust 2 if you want to play 3 on A, 1 mid, 1 B, or 2A, 1 B, 2A, 2B, 1 mid. At this point on Cash, you kind of have that same type of debate if you want to play 2A, 2 mid, and 1 B, or you want to play a retake towards A and play 2 mid, 2 B, and 1 A. What do you think is the easiest the easiest strats right now in terms of default strats?
Yeah, so just as you're mentioning, there are a lot of parallels between Dust 2 and Cash in the sense that if you were to have like your ideal setup as a CT, you'd have like 7 people, right? You know what I mean? You'd have like 3 at mid.
15 versus 2?
Exactly. You have like 2 at A, 3 at mid, 2 at B, right? Yeah. But you can't have that. So you got to make judgment calls. Do we think they're coming mid? And if so, are we going to play 3 mid or are we going to play no mid? Because you don't want to just play one person there and then get them traded out. But if you think they're going mid, maybe you want to play 3 and get in their face, right? If you're a terrorist, you don't want to come over boost and see three CTs there. So it is kind of read-based in that sense. And you can just turn that into a rush into A or B. And if there's 3 people at mid, then maybe your A guy's out of position or your B guy's out of position. So there are a lot of read-based calls that you can make on CT side as well.
All right, well, let's hop into the server as we do have all 10 players ready now on that second map, which is going to be Cash between Synthetic and Ace Gaming. If Synthetic wins this one, we're going to a third map, which the tiebreaker is Overpass. And if Ace Gaming wins this one, well, they will knock their opponents down to the lower brackets best out of 1. As we're looking at this pistol, we have Synthetic starting off on the CT side, Ace on T side, and they're pretty much spread across the map here, Launders, trying to see where they want to attack first. And it seems as though they want to try to take that control of mid.
Yeah, they're definitely, the CTs are just in a straight up default. No one's going in for information. Really common on T side to just sit back and wait because everybody pushes on CT, whether it be a 3 push through B or a push through double push through Squeaky or a flash push A main. Even walks through mid. Like literally every part of this map, every choke point gets pushed by a CT on a pistol in some game or another. And so always good measure, I think, as a terrorist to no matter what you want to do, just hang back and see if the CTs want to play into that.
Yeah.
And if not, then group up and hit a site. And it seems like A's is
Exactly.
what's getting the most attention.
You see PL1 starting to move in with that bomb with his teammates towards that A main. He does have a smoke towards the forklift and flash inside the site, so you could pinch in from the main and from the door. But it's a two-man stack inside that A bomb site. Pretty tight niche right now for Calypso and for Walker, but he gets insta-goosh as soon as they peek out. He's still trying to get those shots, but he is the first to fall in the hands of PL1. But the guys go to work! And it's now a 2 versus 3 in favor of the CT side. At least the bomb is planted, but that turned around quite quickly.
Oh my gosh. Like, all of them just piled up, and I don't even know. Certainly a little bit of luck was involved, though. Devoke hitting that headshot was not luck. And now PL1, 1v3, looking for a kill, can't find it on the guy, and that's it. That's what the heck just happened? I have no idea. Oh, that was crazy. There was like 2 instant kills, like, wow, Ace Gaming is just going to win this game. And instead, Synthetic bring it back in a matter of moments.
That had to be some sort of quick rotation. I mean, we'll probably have to look back at the replay of this round of how it unfolded when they actually insta-goosh Waka, because when you looked at it, you said it was very default the way they were playing the CT side, right?
Yep.
They played passively, very tight niche inside the A-bomb site, support towards mid. It was probably a quick highway push up on that rotation as soon as they heard the door open.
That's true. The rotations did come in pretty quickly because like 2 players died immediately in the site and 2 players were there ready to trade. So.
Well, now that's going to put a pistol buy in the hands of Ace Gaming. They are set up to molly out towards the vents from that outside, as you can see. Ooh. So maybe at this point, yeah, that's a nice boost up on the Shroud box. But yeah, they're going to try to molly out towards that vent and go for the boost, take control of that mid side. And they're going to count on Subrosa to try to get those 1Ds in. They're also smoking towards the A site. Going back towards the A main. But Calypso's in a great position. But gives it away early by getting that first kill on Subrosa, so he's going to get traded out by Effie.
Yeah, I actually really didn't like how early he gave that up.
Yeah. So they didn't really try to go for that mid-control. Vez is just going to try to lurk and watch rotations. And the A site's now open. The guy's close. Oh, it's planted. Looking to get an early kill. It's a big find, though. Not just like that. Devoke getting that other kill with the SMG towards mid onto Vez. At least they get a bomb plant here as well.
Yeah, I think it was actually 5 SMGs once again bought from Synthetic, so maybe haphazardly putting the round at risk. Now, I don't know if that was maybe the worst decision. Again, they didn't lose that much, even though they lost 3 players, but they potentially could have lost the round. Either way, they do end up sealing it up, and I actually don't think it's that bad to buy the SMGs. No. It was only the economy that seemed to be the problem last time, but the idea behind buying SMGs, like, it makes sense, right? You're supposed to still win. With SMG armor and
I was gonna say, as you mentioned, I mean, when you go SMGs, you want to drop those SMGs for the next round here because they lost 3 players. Now they all upgraded again. They left the SMGs in spawn.
Oh, that's really dumb. Yeah, so like.
And that's what happened the last map.
Yeah, so it's like $3,100 on 2 people.
Yeah.
They know that Ace Gaming are saving because they just killed them with head armor. And so even though they got the plant, they would be next. So like, why wouldn't they just keep the SMGs? They just had no idea. I just didn't think that.
Hashtag so dumb. And PL1's trying to get a 1D to start. A little bit of a gray half. Go for, I guess, peek from Devoke. Time getting a touchdown nade in the back of the site, getting 2 kills there. Thankfully, at least for now, they've only lost 1 player, and hopefully they can maximize it at that. Vez, the last man standing, coming out towards that checkers, dropping down towards that vent, and indeed they will. So that's not so bad at the end of the day for Synthetic, but it could have been dangerous where the economy would have been shot moving into this round here.
Yeah, they didn't lose enough players to make it kind of a bad decision, and that doesn't mean that it wasn't, but. They're lucky to have only lost 1 person, basically. Also, their chances of losing people greatly decreases because they have better guns. So there's that going for them as well. And now Ace have a full buy, and it's going to be the first full buy versus full buy of the half.
And I don't really want to try to confuse people by saying that money economy of how they're trying to manage it, but I think this is pretty much mirrored from what we've seen on that first map. Because they went for full upgrades after SMGs, and now they're forced to buy again, maybe only 1 gun this time, so it's not so bad. But the previous map, they were forced to buy up like 4 or 5 guns, or 4 guns rather, because they lost 4 players. And then they were on low buys, and that's where the economy kind of like fumbled down. At this point, if Ace Gaming turned things around, you really only have one guy that's going to be struggling a little bit in terms of cash for Synthetic.
A little bit of good damage done by Sabrosa in Squeaky onto Waka on the A site, and apart from that, not much information being shared for Synthetic. They are playing relatively passive, one in Sandbag or one in Highway, meaning that they have eyes on mid, are kind of weak to a wall, and the wall actually does come out. So now the B split might be imminent. Tam is going to have a little bit of pressure put on him, though. The guy chiming in with his good aim on that M4 peak, and Tam still maintaining checker control. So the split actually hasn't done much for them. Tam doesn't even have to worry about mid at this point, and yeah, can just focus on dealing with the crossfire. Good flash comes out, and this push has been shut down pretty well so far.
Well, now he's cornered inside checkers, so that leaves an easy kill for Ace inside the Ace sent onto the boat. They're trying to commit onto Tam, but he still stays alive, being a key player so far inside B. It's a 2 versus 1 now. PL1 has clutched it before against a different team, of course. He could still do it again here. Walking down to 30 HP.
Oh my
Headshot
God.
up to Calypso. 5 seconds left on the clock, and he's making out. Oh my God! Why would you do that?
Waka did not need to peek that at all. Holy sh! Yeah, it would have been, pull out the bomb, 3 seconds, no time to plant, and bottom line is he could have lost because he peeked and ended up getting the kill, but for absolutely no reason. In fact, he could have just waited for Waka to go up to the site, or PL1 to go up to the site, and then just kill him after time, which would have been so much better.
Broke.
So not only to put the round in jeopardy, he didn't even make the best play possible.
And thankfully, he won the round, though.
Or he didn't even make the second best play, I guess I should say. But yeah, thankfully they won the round. And sometimes it's hard to be aware of exactly how much time is left over, so maybe I wasn't fully tuned into that.
Yeah. Well, back in a safe scenario for Ace. Got 2 Deagles, 3 Tech 9s, and the Tech 9s with full armor. And they are trying to go just for an all-out push inside this A side to get a bomb plant. Through the smoke, the guy, though, making it a one-way on the top of the Toxic Barrels, about to chest bump against his opponent. PL1's doing the same through the smoke. They're just dancing around, and he might connect this one. He's down to 20 HP. Vez, meanwhile, falls down. They're trying to push towards the CT spawn to move plant towards B, maybe, I think. But it's still going to be 5 unanswered rounds now for Synthetic. I think there was a hashtag 1 HP there for Waka.
Yeah, 1. And yeah, Ace have Ace are starting to lose their grip on this game. Synthetic are starting to get their claws more firmly grasped into the back of Ace as they are losing
Sounds very
traction
kinky.
round after round. Yeah. 50 Shades of CS.
If that was the case, I probably wouldn't mind losing.
All right.
Big name there.
Not only is it kinky, but you're into it. All right.
Tiz and FB down to 63 and 57 HP respectively from a big nade coming in from mid. But they still take control of this mid side for Ace. Bomb is dropped intentionally, so they have 2 guys committed in there. So at this point, you still have a lot of areas to work with. If they manage to get maybe the lurk roll from Vez to get an opening inside B, they could go for that mid to B split. At this point, you still have Tiz. I think he's playing it from A main, watching any aggressive pushes there. But they still have the avenue of moving up for a split at A or either at B for Ace Gaming. So it all dwindles down to who's going to make the mistake from either side. Is it going to be Synthetic trying to push a little bit too aggressively to try to get some information? Or will Ace be able to get the entry?
Oh, this actually makes it look kind of like an A split. So I'm not sure if the guy. Oh, now the noise is made over B. No one's smoking CT, however, even though one had been caught in the rotator position, and that's kind of risky to just run in like that without smoking off the cross. And now there's 3 players rotated over. There's really no way for the C's to get in.
The guy's
Bro's
out in the
actually
open.
getting a frag.
That's 1. That's
Oh.
it. 2 versus 3. Devoke 1 HP again. Manages to get the kill onto PL1, playing towards the headshot generator. And now that forces actually Tiz and Sabrosa to fall back, and they're going to run all the way back towards the A site. Tiz is actually waiting
They
there.
should be making noise, actually.
Yeah, there you go. He's trying to sell it, and he keeps him right now towards this B side. This is great for Ace right now.
10 seconds remain. I mean, they're just not rotating at all, assuming that it's not going to be the other side, but it is. And this is a really well-played 2vx, though. Oh, tries to get out there too quickly. Probably didn't want to take his time because ultimately they can rotate out much faster than him, and they'll know where he's rotating from.
He's going to get caught going to main.
Oh.
Now he's stuck at forklift. He's clutched. He could clutch this right now. He gets the first one.
It's Sabrosa. It's Sabrosa.
Exactly. but he has no utilities. Playing inside the site, making it a 1 versus 1. The Volk with 1 HP. Oh!
Another round, Sabrosa doesn't win. What a noob.
So the Volk comes in for the defuse, will be able to salvage that AWP inside the site as well.
Second time he fails the clutch versus a player who has like red HP, like gets the first 2 headshots and like doesn't close it out. Zetetic win the round. 1v1, still have a ton of money, are going to be buying up, but we'll still be sitting around the a few thousand mark, at least for a couple of their players. And Ace let another one slip by. A really nice effort though in the 2vx. Like that op almost made the difference. Just staying there, making noise at the B site, holding 3 players in the rotate. I mean, they really sold that fake the best they could.
You heard it here first. Lunder saying Sabrosa can't close. Trying to go aggressively right now for the CT side. Oh, they might go for that ledge? No. Big flash. Waka is still holding back, but he's out in the open. He's stuck. He's gonna hear the footsteps. Gets the shot there, and Calypso's holding on the other side. Oh, Tiz with the 180 right after onto Waka. But then immediately coming out is gonna be the guy avenging his teammates from the truck side. Sabrosa holding one, and the spray takes him down. So 7 unanswered rounds. Things are looking splendid for Synthetic.
Oh yeah, and bleak for Ace. And I don't know, are they going to buy here? Sabrosa just, went right for it. So
Rage buy.
He had the most money, and I think they just need to put rounds on the board at a certain point. It might not be now. I mean, they're still looking at like potential 8-7 half, which is the max, but after him hitting the trigger on that buy, everyone else is going to follow up. It only makes sense to. 2 rifles is actually enough to win a round with all the utility that they have as well. It's obviously not as good of a chance as they've had in the past, but if you've lost so many rounds like this, then you can't assume that you're losing because you don't have money, right? Like you've just lost, you know what I mean? So maybe money isn't their problem, and maybe
Kills
it's just
are the issues.
Kills are the issues for sure.
You have enough utilities where a lot of it was wasted right now.
Oh
towards
my
the
God,
side.
full A pressure, but then the B hit. I love it.
Still unknown positioning right now, though. You have no idea once that B. They know actually they do. Vez gets the kill into the Volk. Tam is still in the back of the site. He lands up 2. Only manages to get 1. The guy rotating all the way on the top. Back now Tiz, but dinked through the wall. Also being burnt down. And PL1 actually makes it a 1-man advantage for Ace. They'll be able to get a plant as well. Things are looking good, at least for Ace on this force buy. Waka and Calypso on the rotation. Calypso gets the first kill quickly onto Sabrosa to make it a 2 versus 1.
Oh, he kind of saw him there, but they have a good idea of what's going on right now. Waka trying to push through the smoke isn't going to make it happen. Does find his way through, and it's about to get flanked anyway, and that's a guaranteed round.
And that was a knife attempt.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You saw him run through the smoke with the knife out.
Dude, that was a really good round from Ace. That was super nice. I love that. That A-fake ended up working.
Super aggressive.
Yeah. They just, I don't know, they seem like there's a lot of deliberacy, sense of immediacy in that round. Really nice movement from Vez to go and get that kill on B main. Like, he didn't just bait his teammate and kite the person that's spam shooting him. He decided to actually run around and get that frag, and that was so important to get that entry. So I like that from Vez a lot.
Yeah, and I also think the idea of them doing that so aggressively or so fast was that throwing those fakes towards A, you're forcing the Z guy to actually try to rotate. You don't give enough time for B to rotate, but you can at least focus more and know that there's only going to be maximum 2 guys playing inside B, giving you a chance to set up before the rotation comes back from the A side. So that's why you saw that pile coming through. Nice entry from Sabrosa from a Degai aggressive peek. Full save coming in. Oh, actually, pistol buy coming in for Synthetic.
Again, it's an anti-ego. They know that they've hit a head. I'm not sure if the guy actually had a head armor, but he at least had half armor. But there might not be a tell there. So falling off of the boost there, maybe straight overhead could have got that kill, but instead ends up giving it up. Either way, what I really don't like here is that they just split up into like a basic default, didn't attempt to stack or push for any information. If they did push, they might have got caught off guard by Ace, but at the same time, they would have got info, maybe a lucky frag. Instead, they kind of relying on 2 players to hold the site with 5 seconds, right? Which doesn't make as much sense.
Well, he ends that at least, trying to salvage this AK, but Vez is close, trying to spam across as well. Tam does have small armor to work with. So he's
Nice
gonna try
frag.
to salvage that. Getting spam over. There's a truck, another nice one onto FE, 2 versus 1. Getting the kill, Drake
Tons
style.
of-
Woo!
Tons of good damage there. Really nice headshots. Made up for all the failed opportunities of his teammates there, so that's good. Nice kills from Tam, and Ace Gaming do get 2 on the board. Synthetic do not want to let this get away from them, however,
Yeah.
as they had such a nice lead and are potentially 1 away from a save again. So
And it's far from over right now in this first half. I mean, it
far
was.
from over.
We'll just keep singing through this whole cast.
Drake song.
I mean, it was 7-0. At this point, as you mentioned here, Launders, we saw the guy with no money at the same time, very low utilities for Synthetic. They lose this round here, they're going to be forced to save, potentially 7-4 if they lose this round here. And getting 5 rounds when you're starting to amass 5 or 6 rounds on T side, you're actually looking good on the second half.
Oh, dude. Okay, the thing is, right, they go over to B, and then they lose. Wait, oh, they actually have no one on the side. Okay, so this, I thought they had 3 basically here, but this is still dangerous. They might assume Tam is actually the next guy. Oh, and he goes down immediately, and now Devoke has such a hard job on his hands and actually gets killed right away, even after being so patient, waiting for that 3rd frag to pass, and that's it. So, wow. Tam usually does a good job from there. Maybe if they had someone on site to take a little bit of attention away from him, it would have been better. But I thought that the checker event split control that they had would have worked a little bit better than it did.
Well, at this point, you see that. I mean, they were going to be back on a safe situation for Synthetic.
Yeah, this is a really good streak so far for Ace. I mean, it's very important that they are able to string these rounds in a row as opposed to spaced out. I mean, if they do space them out, then Synthetic easily get to 10 or 11. But now Ace are perpetually keeping them at a maximum of 8 or 7, right? So Waka getting some info, but giving some as well. It looks like they're not going to pay too much mind, as it is Ace who are at the economic disadvantage and need to work back from this huge round deficit. A lot of rounds left in this half, and yeah, they'll have to go up against an op next round, but they have an op of their own. They play properly. They should be able to either find out where he is and hit the other site, or just straight up win the duel versus him with the utility that they have.
Waka has a good spawn here if he wants to try to go for a main push. But he's just going to use that advantage to also drop down towards B and just spot it. Because he doesn't really have any flashes from his teammates to try to flash in towards A main and try to get an early pick. At this point, they're pushing actually very aggressively outside B main. That's Tam and Waka. He opened a squeaky door. Devoke's going to get some information. Spotted the bomb carrier as well. So the M4 is actually playing inside this A site. So Calypso's playing at forklift, falling back towards A. No nades to work with though, so he's going to have to count on sheer aim to try to win this one here.
Let's see, the rotates have come out. They've made a lot of noise today. It's really attracting the CTs like a light bulb, wise, and I think that this is getting potentially more dangerous as this round goes on. Like,
Because now the op rotated as well.
Yeah.
Now the M4 takes down Effie. The bomb is still stuck inside Squeaky. Tiz trying to get opening. They don't see anything, but at least the opper's down. Oh, they finally spot him at quad.
was that the op? No, it's
No, the op's already down.
Yeah.
So Tiz picked him off there, and I think Waka is playing up towards that highway side. No, sorry, Tiz is playing towards main. But Tam comes in and gets the frag.
Ooh, they
It's
do
a 2
give that
versus
up.
2.
The guy gonna do some damage through that smoke, and this is a really precarious round. Who knows what's gonna happen? Tiz though finds that frag, and now it's a 2v1 suddenly. How did it all fall down like this? What? Ace actually surmise a win after losing those first 2 frags, having everyone rotate into the site. I mean, ultimately good on Ace for taking their time and not just rushing into the site after going down those people, but I think that's the original reason why they had ended up losing those frags in the first place, is because they took so much time getting to the site and they didn't have everything covered when they were going slowly. So, I mean, wow, that's crazy. I mean, Synthetic really wanted that round conversion. That would have been enormous for them.
And that's why Ace just waited. They really wanted that round, so Synthetic actually tried to go for wide peaks, trying to find some guns rather, and pick them up and try to hold the crossfire, or instead of holding the crossfire, which at least to me would be the reason why they couldn't capitalize with the win on that round previously. So they have money for guns this time, but not enough for an AWP. Pushing out aggressively is Waka up at the lockers of A main. So there's that crossfire smoke. So the wall up at mid. One guy playing at the headshot, and that is going to be the guy. But really, it could be a fake right now. You see them playing so tight in the back of the B bomb site, expecting some sort of split there. But that push up works, but then they're moving up towards the highway. Finally, the guy gets a kill here. Bomb time attempt. ESPL 1's down to 22 HP.
Oh, and Vez is just here to seal this up. And, oh, never mind, I'm kidding. Tam actually gets a frag.
Joshing, just joshing.
Just joshing y'all.
2 versus 2 now, though. They do have a kit to work with.
I got an 8 as well.
They gotta put it to work, though. There you go.
Still hasn't used his nade.
Molly.
Oh, there he is. What's happening?
Smoke. PL1's inside the smoke. He gets the first one. Now he's just dancing inside of it.
Oh my god. Oh, he got spotted.
He does have a kit.
Oh, he's going for it. PL1's assuming he's not going to stick it. Oh, he does actually peek out. Wow. Good on him for doing that, but wow. Wow. And it was a strong emphasis on Squeaky that actually allowed them to make them actually avoid the fact that Synthetic decided to push A main. They traded that kill out instantly, and off the back of, I think Sabrosa only had a tech, no, he didn't have only a tech 9, did he? Maybe he didn't reload his AK, I'm not sure, but certainly got a frag with it and then switched to his tech 9 for some reason. Either way, Ace, this was 7-0,
yeah,
and now it's 7-5.
This is insane, and you're seeing Synthetic back at a pistol buy. What scene to just turn things around and just make it so that Synthetic actually started crumbling apart.
The shoe is on the other side of the table, which is turned.
That's it. They only managed to get an AK out of that, but to the cost of losing 3 teammates on the A side. Bomb is yet to get planted, so still plenty of time right now for Ace Gaming to go on a hunt and prevent Tam from saving his AK-47. F is the closest one to him. Meanwhile, his teammate, Devoke, was spotted up towards the CT spawn and playing long range with the P250 against AKs. I don't think you should be able to survive that. They lose the AK-47. Devoke's about to get pinched here by Effie and move down from CT spawn. That's it. Nothing more than that. 7-6. 6 unanswered rounds now for Ace Gaming. So it looks like we will ask for a timeout here for Synthetic. I mean, is this too little too late to start asking for this, Launders?
Yeah, I mean, you can hemorrhage the bleeding, I suppose, but I don't think you could stop it. It's Ace have almost already gotten the amount of rounds they would have hoped to have gotten after a 7-0, and basically are in better contention for these last two than I think Synthetic are, because Synthetic have a pistol round to show for it, meaning that already Ace have probably won more rifle rounds versus them than Synthetic have, and so that just tells me that their T side, not only did they adapt better, but that they have proven that they are just in general able to not only adapt, but also deny the counter adaptation, I guess, from Synthetic as the streak has happened. But you know, there's a couple 1v1s in there that are responsible for the fact that Ace have this lead or this comeback as well. And the bottom line is for Synthetic, like, yeah, it ended horribly, but at the end of the day, they did make the 7 happen, so maybe they should be fortunate that they could do that at all.
And at the same time, Ace Gaming in a situation where they could buy for the rest of this half. Synthetic, on the other hand, a little bit different. We saw it from as soon as we went to the pause, we went for a full buy already. So it's not about how they want to manage the economy moving into the last round, because they bought all the way down to 900, 300, 0. If they get max bonus money by losing this round, Waka's going to be at 3,400, Calypso's going to be at 37, so they won't have any money to work with. So it's not about how to manage the economy for the last 2 rounds, it's just how can we try to make the most impact out of this gun round here. And what are your thoughts here as they're going to have an AWP and a 4 rifle setup?
So I think the thing is that they're on CT side, right?
Yeah.
So there's almost like very little to talk about apart from the fact that they need to have more stalwart defense, hit their shots, and rely on their sight holds better. And I think over at B, they have a good thing going, right? It's kind of getting sketchy with the mid control. Ace is really able to take control of the round by getting over boost, doing wall smokes, and knowing that no one's up close. And it seems like every time that Ace decide to play, or that Synthetic decide to play in vents, Ace are not coming out mid. So maybe a more forward aggressive mid control is
There must have been a weakness somewhere
on the docket for them. I mean, yeah, it's just that it changes every single round. Oh, and how do you plan for that, really?
Nice off shot to start things off for Waka, but a big spray from Effie through that smoke to equalize it to a 4 versus 4, and also removing the AWP from one of the strongest players here from Synthetic in my eyes that we've seen so far in these 2 maps. Tam, of course, being another one. At least an impact player on B side of Cash, but seems to be a little bit weaker on mid, and the A holds here at least for Synthetic. So now PL1's going to try to move up. Bomb's making his way towards Squeaky, playing very passively for Synthetic. So they have Calypso watching out towards that mid from Highway at quad, and the guy's playing long range at truck. So as soon as the guy gets smoked out, you're going to have to try to see some big plays coming in from Calypso, especially when he's bucking. Oh no! Misses the quick scope. And because of that, the guy's too far out, so this is going to be easy right now for Easy Gaming to get the plant.
Oh my gosh, that's a rough one to miss. That one was almost gifted to him. So that's, yeah, a failure to hit the shot. I mean, they're going to be on the retake here, but it's going to be 4v3. And here we do see the mollies and how useful they can be, but it seems like he's found a little bit of an edge on that forklift and is able to just stand there this whole time. So aren't even able to clear that out. Tam, though, finds a trade. The guy gets one as well. Moving into the site, though, Empy up close. They didn't expect to see him, and he gets 2 for it.
Oh.
And Tiz trades him out.
Okay, TK Nate, he knows where it's coming from, but Tiz hits the up shot.
Out in the open, very risky stuff right there to spot that cross, but really put himself in I guess, a good enough spot to hit it. And wow. And imagine if that one off shot came out from Calypso a quad to get that frag, that changes the entire round. So that's a really, really rough run to think about. And it's probably the reason that each of these rounds have failed in their own respect, like somebody with a failure to either stop an opening frag or get a trade. It's definitely just hitting shots for these guys.
7 unanswered rounds for both sides, and we'll see who will finally manage to take the lead in the last round of the first half, and it's going to be the Voke that adds a little bit of hope finally for Synthetic in their first kill on Tevez. They're still trying to commit aggressively here for the T side inside A. Whoever's playing fence is close. The guy gets the first frag onto Sabrosa. They spot one up on the catwalk, and they finally manage to go to work and finally hold something here for the A side. It's down to a 5 versus 1. 3 of them are lit. Tiz is down to 55 at the blue door, gets the first kill onto Calypso.
Oh, I thought he was gonna go for the wall bang. He's gonna do it. He's gonna flick over.
Just waiting for that catwalk pick. He's now down to 27 HP after eating that nade, but he was looking at the wrong area, was looking up towards that highway after getting the up kill. It's picked off, and finally Synthetic puts another point on the scoreboard, but too little too late maybe, Launders?
Maybe. I don't know if I'd call it too late, just because Synthetic, they still got 8 rounds, you know? So it's kind of like, yeah, it sucks, but ultimately, like, it could have been way better, but they at least went kind of 50-50 when on cash, the map can be kind of 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this, again, we talked about how a team on T side is, or a team that picks a map is going to have to be confident on T side. So they're going to move into this half with hopefully a plan, and will be in their comfort zone, even though they're not playing CT anymore. On the other hand, Ace are no strangers to this map as well, and so we'll probably could have a very easy time in the same respect. Now, the ticket or the key to victory here for Synthetic is get the pistol round, right? Clean up the 2 anti-ecos, win the first rifle round, and that's an instant 5-0, right? And that would put them at 13, and then it's just like they can do whatever they want. They could lose a round, win a round, and still be so close and feel very confident about closing this out. But that's the best way to break the CT economy. For Ace, they just got to have Stalwart defense. A pistol round would be nice, but it's ultimately just going to come down to their sight holds if they can be better than Synthetic.
Yeah, and I think not only that for Synthetic, but trying to manage a little bit their economy if they win that pistol round, because they've done quite well. I think they won 2, I think, of the 3 pistol rounds so far, and they were able to get some machine guns on that second round, right? But after that, it all comes down to those force buys into rifles when they shouldn't have force bought and upgraded so early, at least in the matchup.
Yeah, definitely questionable on their buying decisions sometimes. I don't think it's as clear that they should or shouldn't have bought SMGs or rifles. Like, it's really easy for us to see from the outside. I think once you're in the game, it's kind of, you don't think about that round in the same way. You think about how do we lose that round, as opposed to what economic decisions led to us losing the round, or like not having money this time around. But it's definitely clear that they could be doing something very simple and very different that would help them a lot.
All right, well, looks like we are about to go live on 3 here in this second half. Again, if you just tuned in, this is a Colorado North qualifier to see who's going to make it to the finals that's going to be happening later on in September at the MCC in Toronto, Canada. The Colorado North right now brought to you by Bell. I'm Van Silly. Along with me is Launders. We are in the upper bracket still. Still a lot of CS to cover throughout today and tomorrow on twitch.tv/Northern Arena. And we will see Synthetic on this T side going for boosts actually towards this mid side. So yeah, it looks like the boost is just going to try to watch for rotations, and Calypso opens up with 2 early.
Whoa. Wow.
So Effie and Subroza trying to push out towards that A main and get totally owned.
Yeah, and it was actually Effie and Sabrosa to do kind of a bad job really on Cash versus Selfless on A. So I mean, maybe continuing that trend. It's obviously a new map, and it's also the pistol round where kind of all your rifle stuff is out the window. But either way, they both go down unanswered. And I think that is actually the key for Synthetic. Now that I think about it more, when they, Selfless were really taking advantage of Ace Gaming's A, and I couldn't tell if it was because they were really confident going A or if Ace were just really unconfident holding it. But ultimately, I feel like Sabrosa should just be on highway, Effie should be at truck, and they should just be playing relatively like neutral on the site. Just play a retake, dump nades in, try to get a kill if someone tries to get overly zealous. But apart from that, don't try to take fights head on. Now that A main push is kind of like a specialty push. You're not going to do that all the time.
Yeah. Big boost on Starline to start things off, putting Tiz down to 42. And that was Tam, I think that's up there indeed. But they have upgraded to these submachine guns. Let's see what's going to happen in the next rounds should they win this one here. Gale one spotted with the Deagle at B main.
He's done it before. Oh!
He'll do it again. Down to 13 HP though right after that. So that's two guys lit towards that vent and towards B. So B is very weak right now for Ace, which should still give a chance here for Synthetic to move in and get at least a bomb plant, but they're still hesitating. Trying to see if the CTs will continue to move forward and get some information. But Vez has been deadly at this spot, up towards mid.
Oh man, having someone in vents is a huge thorn in your side. Oh, Vez actually getting a frag as well there. Oh, his teammate drops out just to get that kill, and instead could have maybe stayed in vents, but obviously wanted to trade. It's a hard decision to make for sure. And now they get their way into B. Some damage has been dealt, but they should be able to survive the rest of this round without losing any more men. I would only assume. Can only hope.
So Tam's actually the one watching the flank. The audible Q could be there if they try to break towards that vent, so Effie is pretty much has to do something here. He has to give his position away so that Sabrosa could try to get some deagle shots. And then they maybe try to get a few exits. But they have committed in a lot, right? They went for a pistol buy.
Yeah,
It's a small armor deagle for Sabrosa.
Yeah, right now it seems like they're just kind of, oh, they actually just want to recycle these guns instead of control exits. Either would have worked well. Getting the terrorists to blow up and then trying to pick up one of their guns is a strategy that a lot of people will partake in, but especially if you just want to have your armor for the next round and you know that your opponents only have SMGs, it's not that important or of high priority to do so.
Wasn't there an SMG there?
Where?
Towards that mid side after Vez got that kill, because Effie walked over there and didn't pick anything up.
Maybe a small eyes.
Now here it is, right? Maybe here it is, right? I mean, they have, I think they say, okay, there you go. They saved 2 submachine guns. They had to drop it to upgrade and not see a 5-man upgrade of rifles. Knowing this time that Ace Gaming is going to be another pistol save, they're playing finally a little bit more smart for Synthetic.
They're definitely going to try to attack Vez. They know that this is their ticket to a free kill right now. And they saw him push up.
You still have one towards Catwalk Box though, and that is going to be Tiz with the P250 spotted and down to 72.
This is blowing another vent, so they're fully aware of this.
Taken down there by the guy. I thought he was somehow going to miraculously get a kill trying to cross over onto the other side. But PL1 and Tiz both low. So Rosa down to 46 right after there as he's playing up towards that mid-side team. But PL1's pre-firing the deagle shot. Saw one crossover towards Checkers. That's a nice volley there, forcing him out of position and also picked off by Waka.
Oh, whoa, 3v3.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's Effie. Effie is playing out towards T mid. He's able to land those ones and salvage a Galil and an AK.
They've got some decent control, though. B main is being pushed a little bit, which is nice. That's a lot of peace of mind. Anyone coming out of vents will have to deal with him. Not an easy frag to get, and it seems like, yeah, the pressure's still on right now. If an easy frag is given up, they'll certainly go for it, but if not, I'll probably once again just recycle. And there it is. Doesn't get his frag. A couple players go down, and Effie now seeing the real value in this AK to hold on to it for next round.
Yeah, I mean, he still has the armor from the previous round as well. Spot it now, gonna try to get the kill with success, so he's putting some economical damage onto Synthetic as well.
Oof. dodging the bullet here. Knows one's gonna come. What? Oh
Okay.
my gosh! Basically backpedaling.
That's
Hits him with
crazy.
a one tap.
Fade away. Now Devoke will be able to save his UMP, but that's an AK. And what? 3 kills? 3 kills for Effie. $900 there. And he's going to be able to maybe drop that AK for somebody else, but things are looking good right now for Ace Gaming on this buy. A little bit gloomy there for Synthetic. I mean, again, the AKs are a little bit cheaper. Should they lose this round and get reset, they won't have to go for a double.
Like how FE gave the AK to Subroza. Yeah, I mean, he's your most efficient rifler. He's definitely the person you want to have this.
Yeah. Also playing it solo A, so they're playing pretty much 3 mid support.
Yeah, I'd rather him play. He loves taking that door fight, and he usually wins it too. So I'm not surprised. But yeah, I'd rather them play 1A and just lose that guy than. I really actually hate how they commit Subroza playing in the site because it seems like he doesn't do well here. And that's, I mean, I guess it is kind of to say that he's not doing a great job, but maybe he's had better success in the past and just has recently been getting unlucky. But has always just kind of tried to stay strong in the site. But I feel like he's more useful on like highway or something where he can stay alive, play retake.
Looks like they're falling back from B a little bit, trying to take control of mid, but to no avail after that wall of smoke and boosting up. Tiz was winning at Z. Vez boosted inside that vent at the beginning. Was capitalizes on another one onto Devoke, so it's a 5 versus 3. The terrorists are committing towards the B side. PL1 spamming across, getting a double kill and a triple kill. There you go.
What? Is this AZK? AZ3K. Very nice. That was super sick. Good rifling from PL1. Just a straight up nice hold off the back of strong mechanics. That was awesome.
Easy for Ace.
Easy for Ace.
And now Ace Gaming will try to move back forward, putting Synthetic on a pistol save. Only Calypso buying small armor right now. And they are trying to play it aggressively, maybe try to boost up now. Yeah. Trying to split here. Tiz misses the first and the second.
Really doesn't need to try to go for too many kills.
He is trying. It could pay the price.
You get swarmed here too.
Yeah, they're so close to Z, so they're trying to go for this split. Into the B site, the Volk puts one down to 4 HP. That was Vez. They're slowly getting dropped right now.
Effie just letting Tam know.
I know you're there.
I know you're there, bro.
At this point now, the bomb is down inside B. 5 versus 1 is going to look back towards this tree side, but you still have Subroza on the other side. Not even needed. Tiz is still on point here with the ZWP. Despite him missing our first few shots there towards that T mid, thankfully Effie was there on that highway to support him.
Yeah, that was the thing. He was safe from the push into Z because of that highway player, and so that might have given him a little bit of peace of mind. And yeah, so that's it. Ace are right back into this. It's Synthetic who are on the half buy.
So this is double save then?
Well, I don't think they would. No, they wouldn't have bought anything if they were double saving right now.
Well, I mean, they went for pistol small armor in that previous round, right? For Calypso and the rest of them with pistols.
Right. Okay.
Trying to rebuild this economy now for Synthetic. You'll soon see this 11-10 scoreline for Synthetic still, but Ace Gaming creeping back in this game. One more time, dropping the bomb carrier inside checkers. So the Volk will have to try to get some deagle kills if he can, but can he do the econ damage?
Oh, wait, Synthetic lost first rifle round. That's what we saw, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So they should just be able to buy next round.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Okay.
But I think we saw a pistol situation on the previous one, a pistol situation on this one. And now spotted is the Volk at B main.
Wait, why did they have to double save? Let me check. That's so weird. Why would they have to double save if they just... They won pistol, 1 to 2 anti-ecos, and then lost 3 in a row. Like that's usually you lose if you lose right after the pistol or the 2 anti-ecos. You still have some money left over for buy. If you don't, at max you have to save 1.
Yeah.
But they just had nothing and had double save. That shouldn't happen.
Well, Maybe it's to try to, well, I was going to say to try to build the econ up, but at this point, the guy went for a buy, only full armor AKs, no utilities as well.
Right, and still have no money. Yeah, so it's just like bad future proofing. That's a little poofy.
Usual spawn here. They are going to make a little bit more noise, so they're going to try to play it slightly more aggressive this time for Synthetic. They want to let themselves heard, known, and then hopefully catch Ace off guard. As they try to peek out, Calypso's down to 25 HP, spotted one towards that forklift. Big flash coming through, already two guys inside that site right after. Can they hold it? Can they get the opening for the T side to dig? Nope. It's traded out. Sabrosa playing towards that quad side. As you mentioned it here, Launders, he's not really comfortable playing that towards the back passively.
No, he's actually, I don't know. It's weird because he definitely has the best aim, but it seems like dude's so hot on the solo site, or in the site in general.
Still trying to retake it right now. Meanwhile, they've lost PL1. And now with this 4 versus 2, make that a 3 versus 2. Nice shot by Tiz from that truck side. You're just looking for exits at this point. Because I think with this buy coming in, the win coming through for the T side, it could still be very low in terms of money for the next one, yeah?
Oh, damage is done, and player's going to save from the T side here. That is actually holding Waka off. I don't know if, oh, he takes a shot and dies. So, Ace actually saved more players off this round than Synthetic do. And they keep 2 ops.
They killed everybody.
They killed everyone and they keep 2 ops. And that was just a good hold on the exits there from Ace. So Synthetic, nice round take, or nice site take, excuse me. They're really neutralizing Sabrosa. Like, he's getting 1 kill when he should be, wow, PL1 has 27 frags. Leave him solo B, Sabrosa highway, just play like 3A, and leave PL1 on the other side of the map, put like 1 in vent, and they'll probably be solid everywhere else, to be honest. Like, when you have players doing that well, first of all, no one wants to go to their site.
Yeah.
And if they do, they get 3K'd. So you should be totally comfortable trusting them to do that. It's actually A that needs the most attention. And so if you calcify A a little bit, then there's really no options for the terrorists. And it should be as simple as that, to be honest. Right now, there's 3 positioned over towards B for some reason, and 1 highway and 1 A. When A is clearly weaker, the site that Synthetic have been going to win. And also the site that's, I don't know, it's like Sabrosa and Effie seem to have a lot of trouble here. But here's another chance.
Yeah, I still think Ace is doing a great job of keeping the economy low for Synthetic. They are coming against A right now. Great position by Effie, but he gets 180 headshot.
Okay, that's unlucky.
Sabrosa playing his quad spot. That's it.
Once again, they have like, they just have like no synergy there, or bad communication, or I don't know. I mean, it was very unlucky that Effie died in that way. But again, why pay so much attention to B when you have a player like PL1 over there just doing so much work?
And now at this point, they decide, okay, we were able to get a few exits that previous round, killing all 5 players of Synthetic, but this time they will not try to commit more than that. Maybe just keeping PL1 behind, but he misses the shot. So it's going to be 13-10 in favor of Synthetic. Things are looking finally a little bit better here for the terrorist team, as, like I said, they kept their economy low. If they come out of this with 5 guys still alive, that's looking very good for them, because there was barely, you're going to be able to drop for sure, but keep that money low moving into the forward rounds for Synthetic, right? So great job for them for that execution towards that A site.
They honestly just need to start opping A if they want to play it that lightly. The default, it's Synthetic coming out pretty slowly, a lot of flashes and stuff like that, but definitely a lot of clear shots that can be taken as well. And again, just I have no idea why in the beginning setups they just run out and pay so much attention to the site that's so well fortified as it is.
And they're changing things now finally. They're putting Tiz, they're putting Op in there towards A main, who's going to try to go for an early pick, but he gets flashed out and forced to fall back. So they are playing 2 towards A. They are seeing a little bit of weaknesses for Sabrosa, but because of that, that gives a chance for Synthetic to focus back towards B. Rogue's down to 17 HP.
They gotta get through PL1.
Yeah.
He's 27 frags. He wants 30. You know what I mean? He wants 30. Like, give him the 3K.
And he was able to get that leg shot too. So that seals the deal to them. Speaking about Synthetic, to say maybe B is not a good idea.
Oh God, some pros just took so much damage through that smoke already. And they've got 3 players focused up here, and the bomb stage over towards B. Still 2 players on that side of the map, and so that actually leaves mid open a little bit, and I'm not sure if the vent split is going to come out. This smoke is really bad though, it just makes Waka want to walk through it, and That's an odd way to smoke that.
Yeah, 'cause there's still some flames.
Well, yeah. Oh,
Oh, okay, not needed. He still gets to dig there, drive by. Vez is still inside the site. He has to come up big. Sprays finally gets the bomb carrier, but has wasted a lot of bullets. At least he gets some support from Sabroso. He gets 2 kills there.
okay, that's where Sabrosa needs to be. He's a rotator. Like,
Yeah.
He's as a rotator, he does so much work. Retaker, rotator, mid player, where he can roam around. I think he gets uncomfortable when he has to sit in a spot, and that's not good. Like,
And this is where already things turn around there for Synthetic. I mean, you know.
a little bit of culture came out in that voice.
Well, I mean, they kept the economy low, and now already Synthetic losing the first round after winning a few in a row, they still had to force a save on pistols.
They even had 5 alive last round.
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
Crazy.
So I don't know what's going on with the econ here for the T side, but Ace have done a very good job here. Now they're looking for a 13-12 scoreline by getting the first kill onto the guy just by the vents, boosting Vez up inside the vents to get that kill.
Oh, is that a good flash?
Yeah, that's gonna blind all of them. That's 1 kill. Molly to prevent them from pushing out. He's gonna white peek himself because he could burn himself
1G.
here if he spreads out a bit. But Waka gets the kill. At least he's done his damage. He spotted the last 2 guys. Easy rotation for the CTs. The Vogue stuck inside checkers with the bomb down inside B. What? What are you looking at?
Thought he was still in checker, I suppose. It wasn't called, I don't know. But that's it. Ace now 1 away from tying it up and just won 2 rounds in a row. One of them was a rifle, one of them wasn't. So not exactly telling. Synthetic still, I think, have the edge here moving into these last couple of rounds. And yeah, it's got to be Ace to prove that they have adapted. Now, I don't know what this means. I still think A is like weak if they decide to play it the same way. Last time they had Tiz join Sabrosa over there with the opening frag, but this time he doesn't have a spawn for it. So instead they're going to go back to a similar default that they've been doing.
They spotted Vez, but it's
And
going
there's
to
the
be...
bomb going
yeah.
over. Oh, the counter boost though. That's the guy watching it. However. Oh, and it's Sabrosa at mid. So okay, so now they've actually changed up spots a little bit, which I think is a good idea.
Let's see how it unveils. Tiz is opting from quad. They're forcing me out from that molly.
That's a good nade. Oh my God! Look how much damage it did.
Counter incinerary, at least that blue door. That's going to prevent anybody from pushing out. They could just focus towards that forklift for now. Sabrosa getting the first kill. Effie rotating across from that quad to support. And there you go. That retake is perfect role for Sabrosa, as you mentioned him before. And Effie did his part to get that kill.
I'm definitely Sabrosa's dad.
Tam at 1 HP. And Walka at 74. Things have calmed down a tad here at the A-bomb set, but there's a huge crossfire setup for the CTs. It's Sabrosa with the big flank coming in from that blue door. So Tam at 1 HP. Can he clutch this? First one spotted, and he is ended. So 13 to 13. I think we're back at a save for Synthetic. Yeah.
Yep, it's back to a save, and now Ace have kind of like patched their wounds. They kind of figured out what was not working so well, and now the A take that was working so well for them isn't working at all. So what do they do here? I think as a terrorist, when your sight hits start to fail, you want to go back to mid control and try to work your pick from there.
Yeah.
And then just go back to your default splits and stuff like that. The bread and butter of T-side on cash that could work versus any team. You know, if you get the opening pick, so they decide to hold it, maybe we get in their faces and try from there. But at this point, it'll be Ace to most likely get 14.
Oh! What is that?
He opened it for the flash. And
It's still
the door,
strange.
the guy, oh my gosh.
Okay.
So he was gonna open the door. He's like, okay, flash now. And he was gonna open the door. And then,
It opens on his side.
yeah.
Hello.
Opens his face and he turns around. That's pretty funny.
It's like an unannounced visitor. It's your auntie coming to visit you. It's not the type of visit you want. 3-on-2 now. Bomb is the least planet for Synthetic. And it's Walker, the guy, gonna have to try to hold it. The guy only has
Whoa, hit him.
a P250, and he manages to get the headshot onto Tiz. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
With help from Walker, he makes it a 2 versus 1. And they've bought nothing for Synthetic.
Oh, wow. I know, Bez is gonna take his time. Does some damage. Bomb's not planted for him. Oh, he knows what's up right now. And he gets the frag. Does he have a time? Does he have a kit? Oh, he does. Wow, it's gonna be so close. And he actually just barely wins the round as time was tried to be played. And wow, so close, the guy getting those 2 frags. With his P250 from Fork, you never thought that would happen.
Well, thankfully for Synthetic, they get the bomb plant now. So that adds $800 across the board. If you do get a bomb plant down, but you manage to lose the round, not only do you get the bonus money per round, but you also get 800 added on top.
This is a really tight race at this point. You know, 1 round disparity, both teams on a full buy, pretty much anyone's game at this point. But it is up to Synthetic here to try to reinvent themselves in some way, because now A isn't working so well, B isn't working so well, and Mid Control hasn't really been tested, but it seems like they get away with it late round. They don't like to do full executes here like Ace like doing on their T side.
You have built enough econ for the CT side to go for another buy here. And this is that other boost that we were mentioning before that was a bit dangerous. Wrapping across here if it's going to work, but at least they're not blinded by anything. So that's going to be the first easy kill for Sabrosa. Spamming across the door, spawning a second one here, and that's a double kill for him. And easily dispatches going to be Synthetic on a 4 versus 2. Let's just run through it. Let's just run through Cole. Barefooted.
Okay, wow, that's it, match point. Wow, Ace Gaming, just like that.
How do you end it? How do you want to end a game? Let's just run through fire.
Wow, crazy. And they're really doing it now. All of a sudden, it seemed like 13-10 Synthetic are in such a good place, and now 15-13 Ace Gaming have found their footing on CT side. Are potentially going to close this out 2-0, but Synthetic do have another buy. They've shown they can win rounds on T side. Doing it through site hits obviously seems not to be the answer, right? That's just been failing over and over again. It's not getting any better either.
Yep.
It hasn't been really a glimmer of hope for them, so I wonder if they're going to continue trying it. Here is the run boost. Will it work? No, it won't. Not as good as Synthetic.
Well, at least Tiz gets the first kill onto Devoke, and I think that should be towards mid, and indeed it was. The rest of them are still trying to commit towards this A-bomb site, and it's going to be the guy opening this blue door, but Sabrosa easily takes him down, so still playing towards that spot at A, and finally he finds his footing, and is more comfortable there. 4-on-3 situation, Vez is rotating out from B to A, but they're still holding it calmly for the T side because of that incendiary grenade that was lobbed at the beginning to actually prevent them from moving inside the site. And that at the same time will dissipate the smoke and give a lot more room to breathe for Ace Gaming to hold the CT side. And Tiz rotating inside A, gets that shot with the op. Waka and Tam, the last 2 remaining, both holding towards the Suiki and A main respectively. But they still have to try to take down Sabrosa, but also Tiz, who's been unstoppable this round. That's a triple kill for him to maybe seal the deal. 4-on-1. Last one at A main, and that is going to be it. Sabrosa getting a 2K on that time, and they will move on to the upper bracket finals after defeating Synthetic 16-13 on the second map.
Wow. Congratulations, like hot performance from really both teams, but obviously Ace like edging it out there after Synthetic had such a lead. I mean, pretty incredible. They were able to make the proper adjustments.
Yeah.
Not play scared, you know, they still pulled off some boosts. They tried to do some different stuff, and it all ended up working out in their favor, and just cleaning up really on that A side of the map, which was failing them over and over again.
Yeah,
And
I mean, what was crazy, not only that, was they were losing 7 rounds in a row playing T side first. So somehow they readapted their T side to make it 7-7. Right?
yeah, that's the other crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
And then they started losing so many rounds on A's side because, yes, you've mentioned it. PL1 had like, what, 28 kills? That was for them to seal the deal and say, Synthetic, you can't come in towards B. Every time that they tried to walk in towards B, I don't think they got any further than that B main, right? I haven't seen them move inside that site too many times. So they're like, okay, well, their weaknesses is at A. When they started working towards that mid A side, and you said for yourselves, they switched some positioning around, there was just nothing else that they could do. I mean, they can't get into B, then they can't focus into A. The retakes are perfect right now with Sabrosa sometimes playing from mid side, so what do you got to add to that?
I just think that they maybe should have added mid into the mix and try to default instead of just going like 5-man site takes, right? Like 5-man site takes are things that you have to do on much more complicated maps or much more sophisticated maps like Train. But on Cache, you can just like, with a couple of smokes, couple of flashes, take mid control, barely have used any resources, like $1,000 in resources, and then make waves, right? Have a place to split from, maybe just get your kill straight up right there, have a lurk come out highway or a B split through vents. but instead they just really tried to focus on getting check control with or without mid, and then hitting A full on.
Yeah, and then with that being said, we end this Ace Gaming defeating Synthetic 16-8 on Dust 2, and then 16-13 on Cash. And we're going to look at some of the replays right now, this being the first map when it was 10-5. So this is the pistol round, actually, for Synthetic.
Oh, this is the almost ace v ace or whatever. Well, 4K versus ace, potentially.
They were trying to move up here towards this mid side. Actually, this was where I think it was.
Cleanup.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Trying to move in towards this B bomb site, but it was just easily held. That's when the round we were saying, is it a good idea to move with that bomb towards that mid double doors? Because they did try to go for that mid to B split, and when they did, they actually brought the bomb with them. And you kind of have like a back turns, or your back's turned towards the guys rotating towards the CT side. You're forced to just really try to commit inside this B bomb site. But they focused 3 guys towards that mid instead of forcing three guys inside the B tunnels, which was probably the reason why they lost that round. I don't know if it was like any more details you wanted to add into that.
Yeah, I don't know. Bez just made like a really good individual play. Like a lot of pressure was put on him, and instead of just sitting in the site and holding down one choke point, decided like I'm not going to be able to watch my back, so let me push through the doors, take the round in my own hands, and like kill players coming through window and doors. Just try to catch them off guard, make a play.
Yeah, another big one coming here is going to be another highlight when we see Tam on a 2 versus 1. So this was on the 20th round here. Oh yeah, this is when they actually went for a shotgun buy towards that B side. So they didn't have that much economy to work with here for Ace Gaming. And then they had like this high-low stack here on that catwalk side. But it was a nice hold for them to try to hold. They had that trade going up on Cat. I think it went down to that 1 versus 1. There you go. So that's the 1 versus 1 moving through. And Tam had to play it from the catwalk side. And there was still 2 flashes in the hands of Tiz. But the reason why you don't really see him lobbing towards that flash, he didn't have enough time. He didn't have a kit.
Yeah, there's no chance for him to win, basically. Tiz gets the kill, but it doesn't get the round, so. And then that was the eco, right? All up Cat, so
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, I don't think Tam had really much of an impact play for them on Dust 2, but he did play a really good part at the beginning for them, playing inside Cash, at least towards that B-Bob side, right? Yeah. So we'll see what's going to happen as we move on, but I think we have another replay here to see what we're going to have.
Oh, this PL1 managed to stay alive for so long on the site. Bez chips in with his P250 friend. The thing is, all the rotates are coming out, and you see them all over towards Cat, and they're so far away, but PL1 just not dying means they're so afraid to encroach closer onto the site. And as this concave gets tougher and tougher, Bez just gets the drop on somebody, he stays alive, you know, attention gets taken away from both of them, and suddenly it's just a 1v3, that's it.
Drive-by running off as well from Tiz.
Why not?
That was it. I mean, you mentioned it. A key play was that not only PL1 was alive for the longest time inside that B-bomb site, but at the same time, he's made so much noise and made everybody focus on him to give a chance for Vez inside that closet side to set up a crossfire. So that was actually a 4-kill for Vez and for PL1 together inside that B-bomb site
with
for
no
Ace.
armor.
With no armor,
P250,
only pistol.
Yeah.
So somehow, I don't know, I mean, when you miss your shot, you're forced out in the open for PL1, your whole body is pretty much showing up there between that double stack boxes and that rail, right? You should die.
They just need to run up together. Yeah. Worst case, they go 1 for 1 on each player, and they still have better numbers than a 1v3, right?
Yeah.
So,
and that was the round as well. So when they, at the beginning, Tiz actually had the op battle up at mid side. And I think it was it Tam that was opping up there? But then he looked back at, first off, the T missed his op shot through that smoke, and then he just got the kill right after, right? And that was that crucial kill to start things off and give a chance for PL1 and Vez to play inside B. Now here's another replay here. This is moving up on Cash.
A 2v2, Vez was supposed to get that frag. Actually, yeah, he couldn't get that on the lurk, and then this is crazy in the smoke.
Yeah, and it was that round where, yes, that dancing inside the smoke, but there was another round actually when we were looking out towards that Cash side, when they played the retake and there was like 2 instant kills when I was gonna say Sub-Zero. But when he died towards the quad side with his teammate, there was actually 2 guys already on the rotate. I think that was a pistol round, just to retake play on A. I mean, the rotation was so quick there. But nonetheless, I mean, it was such a good play from Ace Gaming in the end. Such a great comeback for them on that first half. And then it was also a great play for them on a retake, trailing behind on the second half as well. But we do have PL1 3K. I think this was towards that B bomb site. I mean, this guy has been unstoppable there, right? So
is this the? Oh, it's not this round. The PL1 3K was from Checker, but.
Oh yeah. Well, nonetheless, here this is just a pistol round for Synthetic. This made it not really the turning point for Ace Gaming to come back, but this whole round overall, or this whole matchup for Synthetic, if anything, across both maps, was that money economy. Now, not only on the CT side was it a struggle for them. There's nothing that was a struggle for them to play on T side in terms of money economy, but it was more Ace that did such a great job to keep them low. Because when they went for these forced buy, even though they still won rounds, it was still a great job there for Ace Gaming to get those.
They were doing tons of damage with pistols, right?
Yeah. So nonetheless, though, that is going to end this 2-0 in favor of Ace Gaming as they move on. We have Marissa back in the hallway for the Call of the North to give us more updates.
Thanks, guys. Just me from the hallway again. Yeah, cannot believe Ace Gaming had me sweating that last match. Oh my goodness, coming back from 7-0. Well, my hat goes off to them. Synthetic is down but not out, obviously. Let's take a look at the tournament bracket so we see exactly where we're going to see these teams play next, because we're going to see, of course, Ace Gaming in the grand finals, and tomorrow we're going to see Synthetic Gaming play whoever makes it to that spot with them, because the lower bracket is where we're heading to next. We're going to see Selfless Gaming taking on CLG Red. This is actually the matchup that I've been waiting for. Very excited about this one. And of course, this is just a best of 1, so even more intense, of course. And then after that, we're going to see Earthroot Gaming taking on Insomnia Esports. And we're going to have a couple of brand new casters in those seats. The boys had those seats nice and warm and toasty for Athena. And for, well, who's joining her? Seaside? A little Seaside? Is that who's coming in there? Yeah, a little Seaside. They've been waiting. They're ready to go, and I'm excited to see them take the reins. So for right now, we're going to take a break, and then when we come back, make sure you send us your tweets and vote at Northern Arena on Twitter and let us know who you think is going to take the lead. We'll be right back.